During Pesach, we tell the story of how we were slaves in Egypt and how God took us out. Actually, we're commanded to remember the Exodus from Egypt all year long. That's what we recite in the Shema, in the Tefillin that men wear. Inside the Tefillin are the verses that talk about the Exodus from Egypt. Friday night, we make Kiddush. And all the holidays, when we make Kiddush, we always refer to Zecher Litzias Mitzrayim, to remember the Exodus from Egypt. So what is unique about the Pesach week? And our rabbis teach us that during that Pesach week, Chayav Adam Liros, a person has to look and a person has to see and feel as if he was there. I am there. I'm actually experiencing the Exodus and the miracles that took place. It's different than looking at it or looking into it. What do I experience as I place myself there, as I recall, relive the moments of liberation? And one of the important aspects of the going out of Egypt for us to remember is the speed, the haste. We were slaves, and all of a sudden, in just a moment, we were free at midnight. That's when Pharaoh said, "You are released." Until midnight that night of Pesach, we were still enslaved to Pharaoh in Egypt. So, if we can experience it and put ourselves into that, what was felt at that time, imagine the feeling of the joy of liberation. I'm out, I'm freed. That's something that we need to project for ourselves also. The joy of liberation, the joy of being free, the joy of being able to make choices, to decide to go to work, not to go to work. I'm going to go to the park. I'm not going to go to the park. I'm going to go to the beach. I'm not going to go to the beach. Choices. We can do what we want. We're free. And what does this freedom mean? How do we express this freedom? So there's another aspect of this holiday. The speed of the Exodus. That's represented by matzah. There was not even enough time for the dough to rise. And we left Egypt. We were free. And this reminds us that in our lives, there are situations sometimes that we are very unhappy with and very worried about. The message is that in a second, one phone call, one new situation can change everything for the good. And it can come quickly. There's another message of the matzah. And that is, it's not just the aspect of how the original matzah was made, but how matzah is made. And for 7 days we eat, or for 8 days we eat only matzah, not bread, because matzah symbolizes speed. Matzah symbolizes moving quickly. Because while you're mixing the dough, if you stop, then the dough starts to rise. It's invalid. You got to keep moving. So we are free. Pesach is the holiday that reminds us to appreciate freedom, to recall the transition, that moment, that glorious moment that when we're transferred from slave to free, and to cherish it and to use our freedom just like matzah. Just like matzah must be made quickly, so too do we need to use every day of our freedom. Move quickly, of course, carefully, but diligently in using our lives and to be the best that we can be in our service to God. Another aspect of reliving the glorious moment of the redemption from Egypt? Is there something that we realized when we were there? And this is captured in the Haggadah. In the Haggadah we say, Baruch HaMakom, blessed is God who kept his promise. So we, during all the years of enslavement of Egypt, we remembered that God had made a promise to our father Abraham that we're going to be enslaved by a strange nation, and then God will come and take us out. Before Joseph died, Joseph reminded everyone of this promise, and he said that the day will come when God will take us out. God promised. And when we experienced that glorious moment of Exodus, the truth unfolded before our eyes, God kept his promise. What a profound message for us. God kept his promise then, and God will keep his promise to us, because we say every day in the Shema that if we follow all the commandments, God will bless us. God will bless us in this world. God will bless us in the next world. We can be assured, just as God kept his promise at the time of the Exodus from Egypt, God will keep his promise to us if we keep our promise that we made at Mount Sinai. We keep to that promise, and we follow God's laws, and we diligently strive to use every moment of our lives in the best way possible. Wishing you all a beautiful end of Passover and a beautiful coming days, coming holiday of Shavuos, coming summer, coming high holidays, rest of the year. Let's take the message of freedom of Passover and appreciate every glorious moment of freedom that we have.